Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
We have dealt with enough. The customers have dealt with enough. Enough is enough.
A story we told you about involving a local company that makes tombstones and other monuments is gaining a lot of attention, especially from former employees.
Earlier this month, we told you about Custom Stone Creations and complaints from a customer who said he waited a year on a tombstone for his son. Now, former employees want their voices heard, and that's why they called our whistleblower hotline.
But Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has discovered there may be more to the story.
They're in a state of grief. They deserve to have their stones.
It's just gotten to be very shady, and I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair.
These two people are former employees of Memorials and Custom Stone Creation. One of them worked there for a long time before she says she had enough.
I have 2 checks that can't be cashed because they were written on a particular bank, but the account is no longer there.
She just resigned this summer, but says she's still waiting on her final paycheck. In fact, she says she's still waiting on a lot of paychecks.
How much money is that altogether?
Close to $3,000.
But these two say that's the least of this business's problems. While working there, they tell us they've heard endless complaints from customers. All of them saying they were waiting on a tombstone for a long time.
The customers, needless to say, aren't told why their stones aren't being made. You know, it's just that this happened or that happened or this happened. You know, there's always an excuse.
So we brought what we heard from these former employees to who they say are the owners of the business. Or at least we tried to. And then we got an email response. It says the business is a limited liability company, and it's not owned by any one person or family. And the email continues to read that they are aware of an employee who needs to be paid and that they're working on it. It also says that for all the customers who have been waiting on headstones, they'll have it taken care of within the next 2 to 3 months. But now these employees want the same thing as their grieving customers: closure. And this former employee plans on getting that closure by filing a complaint with the state's attorney general. And if it gets to that point, taking Custom Stone Creations to court. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
We also spoke with a number of different funeral homes and cemeteries in the FM area. A majority of them privately tell us they do not work with Custom Stone Creations and refer all their customers to other businesses. Memorials and Custom Stone Creations is not accredited by the Better Business Bureau. The statement we received also mentions talking to the office manager, but the employees we talked to say it's not his responsibility to address these issues. And about the man who was waiting on his son's tombstone for nearly a year. It was finally put in its place a week after we ran our story. Mike says he is just happy everything is said and done and finally has the closure he was looking for. And if you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline and we'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. 237-6576. You can call and leave your tip, and then a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth.
Parts of the viewing area have been dealing with some rocky weather today. Take a look at this. A viewer sending us this video of what looks to be a funnel cloud. It was taken near Jamestown looking east toward Spiritwood. Question is weather like this headed our way? Let's ask Robert Hahn, who joins us with a first look at tonight's forecast. Robert?
Yeah, we've still got a few showers out there, and with these showers, that risk for an isolated, very small, very weak funnel cloud as we head through the next couple of hours. Here's another look at that same funnel cloud near Spiritwood. Thanks to Cordell for sending this in. This happened about 2:45 this afternoon. About an hour later, about 5 miles east of Valley City, Tyler took a photo of that funnel cloud. So a couple of funnel clouds out there, and again, that risk for a funnel cloud still there for about the next hour or two with any of these showers. You take a look at the satellite, you see the clouds moving different directions at different levels. A little bit of shear, a little bit of spin in the atmosphere, just enough that with these showers that have formed, that we have that risk for an isolated funnel. And again, those very brief and very weak funnels. As we head through the evening hours, temperatures cooling on down from the 50s and 60s into the 40s overnight. Winds become very light overnight tonight here in Fargo as we head through the evening hours, temperatures slowly dipping down into the mid-50s. The warm-up begins on your Wednesday. How warm do we get, and how's that 3-day weekend looking? We'll let you know in just a few minutes.
After tonight's temps, I hope it gets really warm.
It'll feel like it.
Thanks.
Yep.
A West Fargo man who pleaded guilty to causing serious injuries to his child will spend about 1 more month in jail. Aaron Kempfer was sentenced to serve 5 months in jail and 2 years of supervised probation in the case. Kempfer is getting credit for already serving 118 days. Court documents say in November of 2017, West Fargo police got a report that a 3-month-old baby was found with broken ribs, black eyes, and a fractured arm. In May, Kempfer pleaded guilty to the child abuse charges.
2 men are behind bars in Grand Forks tonight facing smuggling charges. Timoteo Batista Antonio and Jeremias Ramirez Morales were arrested yesterday. U.S. Customs and Border Protection would not specify what they are accused of smuggling, but did say it could be people or goods. Around the same time those 2 men were booked, 3 other men were also booked, charged on immigration charges as illegal aliens. The Border Patrol has made about 25 illegal immigration arrests so far this month in the Grand Forks area.
Bond is set at $500,000 for a Lyft driver from North Dakota who allegedly sexually assaulted a woman after picking her up from a bar. 39-year-old Corey Wickham is facing 2 counts of gross sexual imposition. Court documents say the 26-year-old woman was picked up at a bar in Mandan by Wickham. The victim told police she tried to get out of the car when she arrived at her destination before Wickham grabbed her arm and stopped her. She says Wickham started kissing her on the lips and put his hand down her pants and up her shirt against her will. Wickham has been ordered to have no contact with the victim.
The number of sexually transmitted diseases continues to rise in the United States. Nearly 2.3 million STDs were diagnosed last year alone. That surpasses the previous record set in 2016 by more than 200,000 cases. The new numbers from the CDC show chlamydia is common, but there's a concerning rise in cases of gonorrhea and syphilis. All 3 are curable with antibiotics. However, gonorrhea is increasingly resistant to most drugs used to treat it.
Minnesotans are spending more money on lottery tickets than ever before. During the fiscal year 2018, lottery sales reached a record of $596.5 million. The unprecedented sales were driven by scratch-off games, which Minnesotans spent a record of $411.2 million on. The increase in lottery ticket purchases also impacted the amount of money returned to Minnesotans. The Minnesota Lottery reports that in this year, a record of $145 million was delivered back to its beneficiaries. State fairgoers like to gamble, too. The Minnesota Lottery says that $700,000 worth of lottery tickets were purchased at the Minnesota State Fair last year, making the Minnesota Lottery the highest-selling non-food booth at the fair.
The number of kids attending West Fargo Public Schools continues to climb. The district surpassed another enrollment milestone on this, the first day of the school year. Officials report that 11,081 students registered for classes in 1st through 12th grade. This is the first time that the district has had an enrollment of more than 11,000 students.
And Willow Park Elementary was one of the schools to finally open its doors to students in West Fargo. Willow Park is the largest elementary school for that city with a maximum capacity of 550 students. The new school allows West Fargo to bring kindergarten back to the elementary schools instead of having a separate kindergarten center. Willow Park Elementary is also offering after-school STEM programs for students.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, new information on a pilot who was killed when his plane went down along the Missouri River in North Dakota.
And the tributes to John McCain continue. We'll hear from North Dakota's 2 U.S. senators up next.